Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm your host, Dilly Panda Gaming, and welcome back to the Panda Gaming channel. And as you guys probably have guessed from my last video, I did a Warden Backstory about, Alexander, which is the name of my Warden, and about how he gained the face of a demon. If you haven't seen that video, before you watch this one, I highly suggest you go check it out, because that story is so vital to what happens in this one. Just, go check that out on our video page, of course. You get the point. You'll go down to our videos, you'll scroll down, and well, actually, it's our latest video other than this one, so, I mean, it's there. It's there if you need to watch it. It's right under this one, especially when it comes to the video page, just making sure you know. We titled my Warden's Backstory. This one's going to be titled My Berserker's Backstory. And you guys seem to like it, so I'm starting to make this an every Friday thing. I think it's pretty interesting, and they said it was creative and original, so I enjoy it. You know how Trey has like the How Real or For Honor executions? This is kind of my deal. It's not as popular without a doubt, but it's interesting, and it adds a whole lore aspect to this channel and the characters we choose to play in For Honor. A side note before I begin, I'm sorry for that. We have not uploaded in a little bit. It's been a while. Shit got busy this week. A couple of things are going down with my my uncle at the time. I won't go into detail because that's personal business. But just a lot of stuff where the family has to come together, and it's taken a lot. So anyway. Another thing before I begin, I have been playing Orochi a little bit, and I do enjoy it, so next week I'll probably write an Orochi story, and me and Trey are working out a system where we can make the visuals in these kinds of videos look better. There'll be like certain slides and different pictures. I got some pictures from in-game for this one, just for the in-game kind of thing. I got some pictures, from that, but I'm going to try and, from now on, draw the pictures of, maybe draw, the faces of the characters and stuff like that, and, have, certain moments be animated. And, what I'm going to do is I'll probably draw it in Sharpie, send Trey a screenshot of it, and then he'll transfer it to his PC, he'll edit it, and he'll send it back, and then I can use it in the video. But without further ado, I think that our good boy Berserker deserves a backstory, and this one is a bit longer than the Warden's. Like I said, if you haven't seen the Warden's backstory, I would highly suggest you to go check that out right now. But if not, let's get started. Alright, so on a cold harvest night, a Viking was born and sent from Asgard. His name is Odvar, and he would bring wrath on his enemies. Raised in the town of Dalborg, if I'm even pronouncing that right, he grew up being trained by his father, a Viking Jarl. He knew he would grow up to take his place as Jarl. Well, one day when he was about 23 years old, he had gotten into a drunken fist fight with another Viking, and by the time the fight was over, Odvar had stepped outside to recollect himself. As he looked off in the distance along the icy shoreline, he saw him, the All-Father, Odin. He couldn't believe his eyes as he watched the ravens fly around the godly figure. He runs home to his father and exclaims that he has seen Odin, and he thought of it to be a great sign. Odvar's father suddenly got a worried look on his face as the war horn was sounded, as a panicked guard burst through the door, exclaiming that a group of knights led by the warlord Astaroth were outside their walls. Odvar's father looked at Odvar and tells him to run and to go to a specific location in the mountains of Valkenheim. So Odvar obliged and started running for the mountains. His trip was long and hard, but eventually he found a small shack. When he entered, he immediately fainted. Page flipping, of course. Alright, let's get started. Start it again at least. When Odvar woke, he was looking into the eyes of a beautiful woman. She says it's good that he is awake and they have a lot to discuss. He notices her necklace. The necklace of a Valkyrie. "You're a Valkyrie," he exclaims. "Yes, I am," the woman said. "Just call me Sigrid." She tells Odvar. She says he knew he would be here because Odin told her so, and she was supposed to tell him some big news. "Odvar, your father isn't your father. Your real father is Thor, and your real mother is Hela, the goddess of death." Odvar couldn't believe the news. Sigrid told him that he has godly powers, he just needs to awaken them by training, and then he can reclaim the town he once lived in. She teaches him how to fight like an Asgardian. 1 year passed, and he finally gained the spark of Thor and the mask of Hela. Sigrid tells him that he will have to leave tomorrow to reclaim his village. They decide to sleep outside. They decide to sleep outside that night next to a campfire. Sigrid is talking to him about how much she'll miss the presence of Odvar and about how fun it was to have him around. When they turn towards each other, they both look at each other with passionate eyes. Ooh. And they lean in and passionately kiss. And fade scene. Now I can't go any further, alright? The next morning, Odvar is just about to leave when Sigrid says, "No, I'm coming too." Odvar first says no because he knew there would be a great challenge before him and he was worried about her dying. But then he remembers that she's an elite Valkyrie, so he accepts. Then they start the journey back to Dalborg. Of course, once again, I do not know how to pronounce. I'm assuming it's Dalborg. Okay, Dalborg. He and Sigrid make it in 3 days. They walk into the town where Odvar starts yelling, "Astaroth, trial by combat." Straight up Daubeny holding cross style, man. When the warlord himself appears, he says, "Okay, but the same will happen to you as it happened to your father," as he starts pointing to a skull on the ground. Sigrid looks at Odvar as thunder starts to pound and he starts to cry and walks towards Astaroth. The mask of Hela appears on his face and they both begin to fight, and do so until their muscles ache. But in the end, Odvar just was not enough to beat Astaroth. Astaroth then tells the injured Odvar and Sigrid, "The Legion isn't just about knights. This Legion will accept any who are willing to fight against corrupt warlords. Will you join us?" Odvar looks at his love Sigrid and then at Astaroth and says, "We accept." Now this story was decent. I'm glad I added a love aspect into it. It was kind of, my own personal thought, One of these characters has to be madly in love with someone, alright? Because that's going to give him a reason to fight and drive and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I should probably mention at this point, I do plan on making this a full-on series to where the point I do read the stories for each of these heroes, and then afterwards I'll just add on a story of, how they, had a hand in what happened in, the real story with Apollyon and whatnot. Because this is all taking place around the same time the Knights attacked the Vikings. Which is, because he was in the Iron Legion when Blackstone Legion had a group of knights that were heading towards, Gransgard, and that's the place, the first place they attack the knights, the first place the knights attack when it comes to attacking the Vikings. So, it all takes place in the same time period. It's just going to be little side stories, and then after I'm done with all the backstories, it'll be a story about how they fight against the Blackstones in a way. But yeah, that's really all for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Expect Orochi's backstory coming up next week. But other than that, I'll be uploading a couple of videos this weekend. I'll probably do one tomorrow on my 420 experience, which was a pretty fun time, man. I love hanging out with my brother. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And a new thing I am starting is please hit that bell button, please. Because that bell will let you know when we upload next, and our view count will go up. And another thing, we are so close to 500 subscribers, and the special for that video, I don't really know what we're doing for it, but we're going to start discussing it, seeing how we are so close. It's only a couple days upon us. I feel it, I know it, so let's as a channel, and as you guys being our viewers, let's get that shit in. But anyway, guys, once again, I love you. I hope you enjoyed this backstory video of Berserker, and I will see you in the next one. Deuces.